everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Caitlin, I'm the Flutey Feminist, and each week I consult my Instagram followers to choose a video topic. First, I will give you a fun fact, which I will do every video now. And today's fun fact is that helium is a non-renewable resource and it's actually used in medical imaging, and we should really stop blowing up balloons with helium. That might not have been as fun a fact as I should have made it, but there you go. Today I will be sharing with you 10 bingeable TV shows. I know for a lot of people spring break is coming up, perfect time to sit back, relax, and stream a bunch of shows. All of these are some of my favorite shows ever, but they're specifically ones that you just can't stop watching, basically. Other shows that are also my favorites are obviously very good shows, but for some other reason I was just able to pace them more evenly. There will be no spoilers in this video, and also I encourage you to check out the TV Time app, hashtag not sponsored. It's an app where you can look up TV shows and now movies. They only added movies a few months ago. But you can look up TV shows, movies that you want to watch. You can catalog them and learn about them and comment and all sorts of things. So it's kind of like Goodreads, but for TV shows, and movies. So also my list is in no particular order. Here we go. Show number 1 is Schitt's Creek. So Schitt's Creek is a Canadian show. The 6th season is currently airing, and you can find it either on Netflix for the first 5 seasons or on CBC Gem. So the app CBC Gem is a Canadian app, and you can stream, it's free. You can stream all sorts of Canadian TV shows and also other shows that they add. And what's fun about it is that right now, since Schitt's Creek is airing, also another show, a favorite show of mine, which is Kim's Convenience, is airing. They air on Tuesday nights, and then later on Tuesday night, or definitely by Wednesday morning, you can actually stream the newest episode right away. So that's really fun. Schitt's Creek is about a rich family that ends up losing all their money, and they have to move to the middle of nowhere in some really random small town that the father bought as a joke a long time ago. I think you can binge this show because you always want to know what kinds of shenanigans the characters are going to be up to next. There's really short, concise scenes and episodes. It's only about 20-25 minutes per episode, and you're always laughing out loud. At least I am. The humor is very dry. There's no music, which I noticed, and that really adds to the style. And each character is really wild and silly, and you just need to know how they're going to embarrass themselves next, basically. Show number 2 is Dairy Girls. This is an Irish show. There are 2 seasons currently, and you can stream both of them on Netflix. It's about a young group of schoolgirls and one schoolboy who live in Northern Ireland, and it's set in the 1990s, which is kind of the era of the Troubles in Northern Ireland. There's a lot of terrorism and political unrest and turmoil and not great things, but this show is a comedy. And I think you can binge it because it's super short. It's another one that's just 25 minutes per episode, and there's only 6 episodes per season, so super quick. You can do it probably in just one day. I think this show is also kind of laugh out loud funny. The accents are to die for. Northern Irish accents, hello! Another favorite show of mine actually is The Fall, which is set in Northern Ireland. Love those accents, so fun. I think the actors on this show are perfect. They're so good, and they are really, really good at acting like teenagers. There's one actress specifically that I looked up, and I saw that she's, I think, 30 years old, but when you're watching the show, you just genuinely think she's a 15-year-old. It's kind of scary, but super good. And did I mention that the accents are really awesome? Because they are. Show number 3 is Good Girls. This is an American show. Currently there's 2 seasons, but the 3rd is airing on NBC right now. but you can watch the first 2 seasons on Netflix. And it's about 3 women who live in a suburban town, and for various reasons, they all desperately need money, so they decide to rob a grocery store and then get involved with all sorts of lies and illegal activities after that. I think you can binge it because who can't resist a good crime drama, right? You always want to know what's going to happen next. These characters get further and further into all sorts of lies and crimes they have to commit, and you just sit there and you wonder, like, how are they going to get out of this? Like, are they finally going to be caught? Like, it's just so engaging and enticing. And it is 45 minutes per episode, but it flies by. So you are constantly on edge and you really just want to know what's going to happen next. So that's why I think you can binge this one. Show number 4 is called The Midwife. It's a British show. I believe the 9th season is airing in the UK right now, or it will be soon. And the first 7 seasons are out on Netflix. I've been waiting for a really long time for the 8th season to be out on Netflix. Super rude of whoever is making these decisions. There are also Christmas specials for each season, which is really fun. And it's about a group of midwives, all women, and it's set in 1950s East London. It's based on a memoir. And they work at a nunnery, and they work with nursing nuns. So some of the characters are not nuns, some of them are. And they make house calls in their community in terms of midwifery and sometimes just general health situations. I think you can binge this show because with each episode there's a new case. There's new patients that they see, and so it keeps you coming back to see what the new health situation or midwife situation will be. I believe that the characters are just the most genuine, kind-hearted people that have ever been created. It's like really kind of surprising. They're just really, all the main characters are just really great people. And it kind of gives you a change from the shows where it's like super complex things happening or super complex characters. But they do bring up really important issues. They talk about abortion, free healthcare. This was around the time that the NHS was being created in the UK. They address LGBT issues, birth control, all sorts of things. So those are important things that they address. Sometimes it's more serious and there are sometimes lighthearted aspects to it, but I feel like you don't have to like focus too hard or think too much as you're watching. You can really just sit back and enjoy it. And it's just so like heartwarming. It's just the sort of show that's like the music that they use regularly is just, I'm thinking about it now and I just want to cry. Funny thing, if you go on my Instagram bio, which you can find below, there's a highlight entitled Me Crying. And the first like 20 stories in there are pictures of me crying at Call the Midwife episodes. So the reason I'm crying so much at this show is because it just makes me so emotional. It's not usually because something bad has happened in the episode. It's just because everything is so heartwarming and so sincere and beautiful and happy. And so I cried at I think every single episode except maybe 1 or 2 in the whole 7 seasons that I've watched. Anyways, this show is about usually 45 minutes to an hour per episode. So worth it though. Once you start, you can't stop. Show number 5 is Baroness von Sketch. It's a Canadian show. There are 4 seasons currently, and you can stream it either on Netflix or on CBC Gem. And it's basically just a sketch show, and the main cast of characters is 4 women who are all in their 40s. I think it's bingeable because the sketches are all very short, as are the episodes, about 25 minutes per episode. And I think their brand of comedy is hilarious. It is absurd. It is ridiculous. It is stupid. Just so funny. I find it so funny. It's a great sketch show. I think it's an important show because it is women-led, which is rare, even in comedy, even in 2020. And they bring up really relatable situations. It's just really good. And it's, yeah, definitely, there are always laugh out loud moments in every episode, so I encourage you to watch it. Show number 6 is Pen 15. Now there's another way to pronounce the name of this show, and I won't tell you how to pronounce it. I will just tell you to write down Pen 15 in capital letters, and you'll see what I mean. So it's an American show, and you can stream it on Hulu. It's a Hulu original, but you can also, for some reason, stream it on the CBC Gem app, which I did over a year ago. And currently there's just one season. And so it's about two 30-something-year-olds who are actually in the show playing themselves as 13-year-olds. So the actresses are in their 30s, but on the show, their characters are themselves when they were 13. And it's set in the early 2000s when they would have been around 13. And it's just absurd, but hilarious. So it's just kind of like what they go through as young teen girls. I think you can binge it because it is so funny. Like, it is so funny. Very relatable, especially if you were alive or growing up in the 2000s or late 90s. Everything they go through is super cringy, but like you can't look away. Like, you just have to keep watching, even though, like, I mean, whose life wasn't cringy when they were 13, right? Super, super funny. And what's funny is that also, like, after a few episodes, you kind of like forget that the actresses are actually 30, especially because like the rest of the actors who they go to school with are actual 13-year-olds. So they're just these two like super tall 30-year-olds playing. Oh god. Oh, it's so good. It is really good. So anyways, they talk about all sorts of really funny and relatable topics, and they're only 30-minute episodes each, so very bingeable. Show number 7 is Gilmore Girls. Hear me out. Just hear me out. So if you don't know, Gilmore Girls is an American show. There are 7 seasons. It aired back in the earlier 2000s, but there's also an extra season, kind of like a revival that they did. And you can stream it on Netflix. So it's about a young mother and her teen daughter, and they live in a really small, cute town, and it's just kind of about their life in general. I think you can binge it because it's a similar vibe to Call the Midwife, probably a bit more on the comedy side than Call the Midwife is, but it's just really heartfelt, very heartwarming. Just like a feel-good show. You just always feel good, basically. And yes, for sure, it is not perfect. There are many aspects to it that are problematic, mostly because it was made a while ago now. But I think it's still really fun to just imagine living in the town they live in and just being surrounded by kind people and having family, and it's just really, really great. And they do address serious topics too, but it's a really feel-good show. There are longer character arcs in this show than maybe in some of the other ones that I've mentioned, but once you get invested, you really just want to keep watching. I think it's also very nostalgic, kind of like how Pen 15 would be nostalgic because it's set in the early 2000s. So this is another nostalgic show, which I think is easy to binge, basically. The episodes are all 45 minutes long, so yeah. Show number 8 is called Special. It's an American show. There's 1 season of it for now, and you can stream it on Netflix. It's about a young man who lives with cerebral palsy, and it's about his trials and tribulations of living with a disability and being a young person, basically. It is a comedy. And the reason I think you can binge this, one of them, is that this is one of the shortest shows on my list. It's actually 15-minute episodes, and there's only 8 episodes in the season. So you can really just watch it in one day, basically. I think it's a really earnest and funny show. Of course, it represents a disabled man as the main character, and he's gay as well, which is, yet another intersection that's important to represent in storytelling. And, even if you are able-bodied or not gay or whatever, I think you will for sure still enjoy the show. You'll learn from it, you'll laugh, you'll just enjoy it a lot. I think it's a really important show. Definitely bingeable. You could definitely do it in one sitting, which is, I think, what I did. Show number 9 is called Loosely Exactly Nicole. It's an American show. There are 2 seasons of it. It's over. And you can stream it on Facebook, of all places. Don't ask. I don't know. I watched it on Facebook. So it's about a woman named Nicole who is just kind of about her struggles of living in Hollywood and being an aspiring actress. And the main character is played by Nicole Byer, who I love. You may know Nicole from Nailed It. She's the host and she's a comedian. I love her so much. It's her show. And so that's definitely one reason why you can binge it. If you love Nicole Byer, you will absolutely love this show. I think it's hilarious. It's short, it's 25 minutes per episode and only 10 episodes per season. So you can watch it in a matter of days. I think in this show there are also kind of cringy moments, but again, they're just so funny, and Nicole's brand of comedy is so unique and so engaging, and I love it so much. So you would definitely enjoy the show. Of course, it centers a Black woman as the lead and telling her own story, which is really important. But yeah, I think the style of humor is super unique. And the final show on my list, number 10, is The House of Flowers. It is a Mexican show, and there are 2 seasons currently. You can stream it on Netflix. I personally watch it with dubbed over voices, but I'm sure you can just watch it in Spanish with subtitles. It's about a wealthy family who has very deep and dark secrets that slowly but also quickly come out one by one, and it kind of documents how they deal with all these secrets. Spoiler alert, not well. I think you can binge this show because who doesn't love a good family drama? It is so good. It's basically a dramedy, and the humor is, it's good. It's kind of another style of dry humor, similar to Schitt's Creek maybe, and I find it so funny. I really like the actors who do the voiceovers or the dubbing. I think they're perfect for the characters, and they're really great to listen to. The episodes are 30 minutes, but the seasons are a bit longer. Don't be afraid though, as I mentioned, it's bingeable, so you can do it. You get to see all these, entanglements and secrets, and you never actually see a lot of them coming, even at the very beginning. Like, each episode you're like, oh God, how did that happen? So I find that interesting. Also, they do have some LGBT representation on the show. There's some gay characters who you actually see having sex quite often, which I think is still rare to see in like mainstream TV, even in 2020. Each episode, the title is the name of a flower, and it says in brackets what the symbolism is. So that's really fun to kind of see coming up, like, oh gosh, the next one is like shame or something. So, it's going to be interesting. The one issue I do have with this show, which is an important one, is that one of the characters is a trans woman, but unfortunately the actor playing this character is a cisgender man. I find that problematic. Nevertheless, I think this show is worth watching and worth thinking about it at the very least. There you have it. 10 shows that you can definitely binge, probably all of them in 1 week. Most of them are pretty short, but I highly recommend all of them. Thank you very much for watching this video. You can definitely let me know in the comments which of these shows you've seen, which are you going to watch, do you hate any of them? Of course, let me know if you want to add to my list, because I'm always looking for new shows to watch, especially ones that you think are very bingeable. And if you made it this far in the video, I will give you some bonus shows. So there were a lot of other shows that I personally, watched very quickly, but I just wanted to give you 10. But I'll share with you my honorable mentions. The first one being Big Little Lies, which you can find on Netflix. Oh, no, that's not true. Pretty sure it's on Crave. Sorry, it's an HBO show. Forgot that I watched it on Crave. But it's a drama. They're about 1 hour long episodes, but it's a mystery as well, so very engaging. Show number 2 would be Jane the Virgin, which is more a comedy, but maybe like a dramedy. But you can watch that on Netflix. It's over now. Very, very good show. And finally, The Killing. Very, very, very dark show. I find it still bingeable because it's a crime drama, a thriller more so. So in that respect, it's very bingeable, but it's very, very dark. Massive trigger warnings for all the bad things that can happen in this world. But look it up, see if it's for you. But if you think it is, it's definitely a bingeable show. So again, thank you for watching this video. Make sure to like and share it with friends. And again, you can follow me on all the social media in the description box below. You can subscribe to this channel by clicking right up there. You can check out my flute performance channel right over here. And right up there is my latest video. Thank you so much for watching and have a Flutey Feminist day.